Hey everyone, today I'm bringing you a Mermail deck profile. Now, this deck is for the current meta that we're in, so I'm not including Instant Fusion for Nodin, but obviously we'll have that sometime in the near future. So, hope you guys enjoy. Any suggestions, feel free to offer them. Okay, start things off. 2 copy of Abyss Megalo. Now, before Dragoons came back to 2, a lot of people played 1 copy, and I agree with it, it's correct. Because Megalo can clog your hand, it's a high investment card, i.e. you have to put a lot of things in to make it, and it has high potential to go wrong. But now I just think the deck is a lot quicker with 2 Dragoons. Next up, 1 copy of Lead. This should be self-explanatory. Lead is just, it's a big beater, you need to crash over things. Next, possibly the best card in the deck. This gives you the speed, Abyss. This guy allows you to search for everything that you're missing. He's also got quite a big arse, so you can wall up. And this goes hand in hand with Abyss Pike, which can set up your plays. It combos very, very well with Lind when Lind dies off a sphere. It's got numerous applications. Next card we go for is 3 copies of Lind. Lind, obviously an engine card. This is the main card which you special summon off the aforementioned sphere, and you can crash it with things to get out your big level 7 guys as well. Next card, which was bumped in a recent ban list as well, back to 3 copies of Gund. Now, some people think that 3 is excessive. I personally think it's the correct number, because you're playing more level 7s now, you can bring them back, you can make more plays. First little engine, I'm playing 1 Undyne and 1 Controller. The reason I'm playing 1 of each is because the biggest problem with this engine is the little vanilla dude on the left, Controller. You never want to see this card in your opening hand. You never want to see this card in your hand, full stop, other than when you search it off an Undyne. Because if you see it, it means your Undyne's dead. And it's essentially just a tuner at that point. One of the worst normal summons in the deck. Next card, Diva. Again, when people were playing this in recent lists, they didn't play Diva because there was no need. Right now, there is a very big reason to play Diva. We got back a certain synchro, which we'll no doubt get to at the end of the video. 1 Aqua Spirit. Aqua Spirit helps you with your Exceed plays. It also helps you with your synchro plays. It's a free special summon. I wouldn't play any more than that though, because the deck space is quite tight. You already have quite a big monster lineup, and it conflicted with what I wanted to do with the deck, which was make it more control based. 2 copies of Goons. Now, Goons came back to 2 in the last list, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if we saw it at 3 on the next list. But this card is insane, especially because soon we're going to get Nodin. Nodin essentially means that you can bring it out, bring back your Goons, go into level 4, use the effect of said level 4, and that will trigger your Dragoons. So you're getting yourself more searches for absolutely nothing. And most likely, you've got yourself another Exceed on the board as well. So things are about to get pretty crazy. I wonder how long that will last before Konami realise something's up. Next up, 2 copies of Marksman. I agree with Patrick Hoban in that Marksman and Infantry they basically simplify the game state. When I was looking at this deck, I compared it a lot with Shaddoll, and I saw this card as a Dragon. Dragon, in my opinion, is the worst Shaddoll. It has the highest attack, other than Beast, obviously, but essentially, the majority of the time, all it is an MST. And it's not enough, really. 2 copies of Infantry. It's the same. It's the same thing. I just couldn't bring myself to play 3 copies of either of those cards. They have their jobs and they do them well, but that's all they do. 1 copy of Raigeki, ruining people's day. 3 copies of Upstart Goblin. Now, a lot of you would be thinking this really isn't necessary, but I think one of the biggest problems is you have to accept, if you're going to play a deck like Mermail, the first thing you have to accept is it's been power crept. It isn't what it used to be a couple of years ago. You really need the consistency to be high, and it doesn't make sense not to play this card. Trap lineup, which is quite extensive. Solemn Warning, still one of the best trap cards in the game, and it's absolutely crucial. Can defend you against pendulums. It's especially good against pendulum decks. You all know its applications. Vanity's Emptiness, make a big board, sit behind the emptiness. Engine card, 3 copies of Sphere. Sphere is absolutely crazy. I can't believe we still have it 3. Japan neutered that ages ago. But yeah, Sphere brings out a big beater when you need it to defend yourself, brings out the Abyss Lind, which it doesn't really matter if they kill it or if they don't, it's just fantastic. Next up, 3 copies of Fiendish Chain. This card is good in a variety of matchups, but none more so than the Necros matchup, because that matchup is hard. Unicorn is a serious problem, Bryonek is a serious problem, and Trishula is probably the biggest problem. You need defense, and this combos well with a card in your extra deck, which you will see soon. 1 copy of Torrential Tribute. I love playing this card in this deck just because it's a card which people misread all the time. And by that, I mean you're playing Mermail. Anytime you set a back row, your opponent is assuming Sphere, which means they have to play around it thinking that it's a Sphere, which means that they're more likely to fall into Torrential Tribute and give you more pluses. And the last traps I play are 2 copies of Mind Crush. The reason I've gone with Mind Crush is because it's generically good. It's good against Cliffort, it's good against Necros. It has limited applications in the Shaddoll and BA matchups. It's good against Tellers. It just seemed like a generic all-round good trap card. Moving on to the extra deck. Level 7s, we play Dracosac, Big Eye, and Gaios. All of these 3 have entirely separate applications. Dracosac isn't as powerful as it once was when it was £100 or whatever during Dragon format, but it's still a big beefy card which brings out a couple of tokens. It's a bit of a tank. Big Eye steals monsters, and Gaios is probably still the most powerful, especially against Necros. You can really lock them out with that card. Another little mini engine, 1 Bahamut Shark and 1 Abyss Trite. This combo is still really, really good. Just not as good as it was a while ago, but still. 2/6 beta and a little wall, which gets an effect when it dies. It's not bad. Next up, a few more. So you've got Direwolf, Exciton Knight, and Castello Skyblaster. Direwolf mainly to deal with Floodgate cards if you're having problems with them. Exciton Knight for swings in advantage. And Castell, again, more Floodgate removal. And it gets rid of floaters. 1 Cowboy. Cowboy ends games. Like a lot of the time, even though that this is quite a control build, you explode in Mermail. It's just a fact. But this can help you seal the deal. 1 Dweller. Dweller is absolutely huge in this deck. It's only going to get better when Instant Fusion comes out, because you'll have the Nodin underneath it. You'll trigger the effect of Dragoons, and Dweller will power up everything on your board. So there's a lot of OTKs which are only possible because of Dweller. And the last of our Exceeds, we have Ptolemaeus and Diamond. These cards you need no introduction. They're insane against Shaddoll, they're insane against Burning Abyss, and they have applications in the Inferno matchup. That's why they're in the deck. Synchros, I only play 3. 1 Leo. You can make this relatively easy. I'd prefer to play Ascension Sky Dragon, but I don't have one. So Leo makes the cut. Next up, Jularin. Jularin is actually really good in this deck because it combos well with the Fiendish Chains, with the Spheres. It allows you to reuse those power cards, basically. And it comes up more often than you'd think. But without a doubt, the most powerful monster in the extra deck, and one of the big reasons that I'm playing this deck, is Trishula. Trishula is just so easy at making this deck. The majority of times that I'll play, I will go into this card. It's really not as hard as you think. You can make it off a Diva. Diva, Marksman, Dragoons, Trish. That's really quite easy, but if you've got any level 4, you don't even have to go into the battle phase before you do it. So like Diva and Aqua Spirit, you can get Trish, like Diva and Pike, etc, etc, etc. There's so many ways to make this card. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think. Peace.